Chris Carlson has a great question here. Chris says, with this challenge particularly, I notice I am much more dependent on watching my fingers on the keyboard. While I've memorized the entire intermediate score, I still like to be in the habit of watching the music more, particularly in maintaining appropriate timing, getting better at internalizing the rhythm, but of course when I hit a wrong note or need to correct, it's critical. So when doing prior songs and challenges, I felt better able to know my hand positions. For Grace, you use the chord progression and practice, practice. Any suggestions other than just practice, practice, practice for Elise? You nailed it, Chris. This is one of the reasons why this piece happens to be pretty challenging, especially in the right hand, but at the intermediate level, also the left hand. You are constantly moving between positions, which makes it harder to anchor into one position, right? Because we're shifting. One tip that I could give you, Chris, is instead of looking for an entire hand position, where do all 5 of my fingers need to be? Instead of doing that, I would encourage you to find one note of that position. Look for that one note, and then get your finger to that note and let the rest of your hand sort of just be, okay? Then chances are your hand's gonna go to the right spot, but you're not thinking of 4 or 5 different notes that you have to find visually. It's just one. So when I'm jumping with my right hand downward, for example, from here, I'm going down to middle C, right? But those 4 notes that follow, I'm not looking for all 4 of these notes as one position when I'm moving in real time. Instead, I'm only looking for the landing note of the first note of that phrase, the C. I'm looking at middle C and I'm moving my thumb to that note. That's it. I'm not thinking about the other fingers because I trust that once I land there on that first note of the position, that the rest of my fingers will follow suit. So what we're doing here is we're reducing the amount of things we have to do in the moment. Okay, I have to find a whole hand position, and instead we're just reducing it down to one note. I just have to find one note. Then you need to practice that. You gotta practice mapping that stuff out. Okay, right hand thumb to C, that's it. And then you have to go to the next one. Left hand pinky to E, that's the only thing I'm thinking. Once I'm on that E, I know that the remaining left hand notes will fall into place. So I hope that helps. Don't look for the whole position necessarily. Just look for the landing note or the first note of the phrase that you're moving to. That could help. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Phil. Don't forget to hit subscribe and tap that notification bell. And be sure to check out the Playground Sessions interactive app. It was co-created by music legend Quincy Jones. Playground teaches the piano with interactive feedback and gaming features, all while using your favorite songs.